So I often get asked, is Real Broker good for brand new real estate agents? And if you'd asked me this question 4 years ago when I first joined, I probably would have said no. At that time, we really didn't have the support or the training in place for brand new agents. But today in 2025, we are a very different company. And I'd have to say, yes, not only are we a good choice for new agents, I think we may actually be one of the best choices for brand new real estate agents. So today I want to break down all the reasons why I think that Real Broker is the best choice for new agents in 2025. So let's start off with fees. This is obviously something that new agents are often concerned about and one of the first things that they look at, and they are justified in doing that. We all know how hard it is to break into this industry, and an agent having to give their brokerage an extra $10,000 a year, that could make the difference between them surviving their first few years in this industry or not. And there's a couple advantages to Real Broker's fee structures that is helpful for new agents. One, we don't charge any monthly fees. So if you go 2 months, 3 months, 6 months without closing a transaction, we're not taking money out of your bank account every single month. And monthly fees, unfortunately, are very common in this industry. One of our top competitors charges $85 a month, whether you close the transaction or not. That's over $1,000 a year right there coming out of your bank account, and you may not have any money or much money coming in to replace that. And what I like about Real Broker's fee structure is that we only charge fees when you have money coming in. So all of our fees are taken out of your commission when you have money coming in. And I even find this really helpful as an experienced agent, but I think new agents especially are going to find this extra beneficial that you only have to pay fees when you have money coming in. And Real Broker is also one of the most affordable brokerages out there, period. When you actually crunch the numbers of how much fees you pay to these companies, let's say at 5 transactions, 10 transactions, 15 transactions a year, you could literally be saving $5, $10, $15,000 a year at Real Broker compared to a lot of these brick and mortar companies or even our top competitors. So the bottom line is that at a Real Broker, new agents are going to keep more money in their pockets than they will at the vast majority of other brokerages out there. So let's go ahead and break down all the fees that you'd be paying here at Real Broker. So Real, we have an 85-15 split with a $12,000 cap for a solo agent. So what that means is when you have a commission coming in, you will get paid 85% of it. Real will keep 15% of it until you pay them $12,000 a year. And just in comparison, a lot of other brokerages, like let's say Keller Williams, for example, they typically charge 30% of your commission plus a 6% franchise fee on every transaction until you cap. And their caps can sometimes be 2-3 times as high as the cap here at Real Broker. Companies like eXp Realty, they have a $16,000 a year cap compared to our $12,000 a year cap, and they take 20% of your commission compared to our 15% of your commission here. Now, if you decide to join a team, your cap as a team member is actually only going to be $6,000 a year instead of $12,000 a year. So there is some savings there by joining a team. And at Real, we have plenty of fantastic teams for new agents to choose from. And in fact, we actually have a breakdown for every single state of all the teams that are looking to grow along with all their contact information. So we make it really easy for you to find these teams, interview with them, and pick one that you think is a good fit for your business. Now at Real, after you cap, you keep 100% of your commission, but there is a $285 transaction fee per transaction from that point on. We do have some other fees. Every transaction has a $40 CBR fee, a compliance and broker review fee. So across the board, $40 each transaction. And we do have a $750 annual fee, and this gets taken out of your first 3 transactions of the year, $250, $250, and $250. If you don't close 3 transactions, you don't have to pay the remainder of that annual fee. And we do have a $249 sign-up fee that you have to pay when you first join the company. So when you compare this to other companies like eXp Realty, which I've done in spreadsheets and other videos, the average agent saves about $4,000 a year at Real Broker. If you compare this to these legacy brick and mortar offices like Keller Williams or Remax, you could easily be saving $10,000 a year or more depending on your production. So obviously fees are important, but they're not everything. As a new agent, you don't want to just look for what is the cheapest brokerage. You want to find what is the best brokerage. And training is going to be really important for a new agent as well. And I think, once again, that Real Broker has some of the best training for new agents. So Real Broker, all of our training is online and is housed in the Real Academy. And what I like about this is that you can literally listen to the training or listen to live streams on your phone while you're going for a walk or while you're driving in your car. And we have a huge database of training covering every topic that's important to real estate agents that you can think of. Everything from social media marketing to online lead generation to holding open houses, listing presentations, buyer consultations, how to actually build a successful business. And we do have a lot of training geared specifically for new agents. And there's a couple of pretty big advantages to how Real Broker does our training compared to a lot of our competitors. One challenge with brick and mortar brokerages is that you typically are only getting training from other agents in your exact office. And so this creates a financial disincentive for those agents to teach you what's actually working for them, what their secret sauce is, because you're in their exact market directly competing against them. Like, why would they teach you? If they figured out some new strategy, why would they give that away to you? They wouldn't. Another challenge with that model is, let's say you want to learn about social media marketing or running Google pay-per-click ads or high-level listing presentations, and nobody in your market center knows anything about those topics. You just don't get access to that training. And at Real, by getting training from agents all across the country that are in different market centers, you get a much wider range of topics that you get trained on, and you can literally copy what's working in one person's market and then be the very first person to implement that strategy into your market. If you're only copying other agents in your city, that's going to be a really tough strategy. It's much better to copy people in other cities and be the first one in your market with that strategy. And another unique thing at Real is that we financially incentivize our top producing agents to provide high-level training for everybody else in the company. And we do this with our Elite Agent Award. So every year, our top producers can earn up to $20,000 in free stock in the company. And in order to do this, they need to hit certain milestones in their businesses, and typically they teach classes in the Real Academy. So they're doing this in order to earn more stock in the company. And here's the beautiful thing about this model. This model makes all of us owners in this company. So I own a lot of stock in this company, and I earn revenue share as well. And I teach classes in the Real Academy for no other reason than I want to give back to this company. I want this company to grow and thrive, and I want the value of that stock to go up because I'm an owner in this company. And everybody, all of our top producers have that ownership in this company, and it incentivizes them to provide the highest level of training that they can. So at a brick and mortar, you're getting training from agents that have practically no financial incentive to provide training to you. They actually have a disincentive to provide you good training because you're directly competing against them, and they have zero ownership in the company, versus getting training from agents who have ownership in this company and benefit if the company benefits, and most likely are not even in your market and they're not directly competing against you. The quality of the training is just night and day, in my opinion. And what we do that actually makes us unique compared to other cloud brokerages is that at Real, you can't promise anything exclusive in order for somebody to put you down as their sponsor. At eXp Realty, that's standard practice. That's how they run the company, is that you're expecting to get training from your upline at the company. And what this does is it creates all these different networks and silos that are literally competing against each other, and you don't get the training that this network offers unless you join it. And if you join a different network, then this training is completely cut off from you. You have no way of accessing it. In our Real, we've done away with that model completely. Instead of having all these different communities and different networks, we have one community, and we all train and collaborate together. So you get access to everybody's training from the entire company, not just the training from your specific network. And this has a really big impact on the training, of course, but also just the culture and the community that we have here at Real Broker as well, right? This fosters a culture of collaboration, not a culture of competition. Now, being a new agent, another critical thing is going to be support. And again, I think that Real Broker provides excellent support to our agents. And I look at it as we have several different layers of support that you have access to. So first off, right in your agent app, there's a call broker button, and you can just press that and call your broker directly. Most states have multiple brokers at this point, so it may be around Robin, but it'll go to a broker that you can talk to directly. Another cool feature is that every transaction is going to have a file that's created for it, and if you open up the transaction in your app, there's a call broker on that transaction. If you call them from that transaction, there's always going to be somebody in front of their computer that's going to see that call coming in and see what transaction you're calling about. And they're actually going to pull up the transaction on their computer, then have the phone call with you. That entire phone call is going to then get recorded and then saved in that transaction. So you can go back a week later, a month later, a year later, and listen to the phone call that you had with your broker about that specific transaction. And so this is one way that we're really leveraging technology to enhance the support that we provide to our agents. And every transaction file also has a chat box automatically built in there. So if you have questions about a specific transaction, instead of emailing or texting your broker, it's best to ask them right there in that chat box. And again, that whole conversation will get saved with that file. Another layer of support is going to be Leo, our AI assistant. So Real Broker, hands down, has the most advanced AI assistant out of any brokerage in this industry. I'm confident with that statement. We've been working on this project for years. It's incredibly helpful, and I think it's fantastic for support. So think of it like ChatGPT, but it's fed all the information about Real Broker and then all the information about your business and your transactions as well. So you can ask it questions like, hey, how much commission did I earn last year? Or how much commission did I earn last April? Or what is my average commission check? When is my next closing going to be? What is my broker's contact information? What is my expiration date of my license? You can ask it any question about your specific business and it can give you those answers. But you can also ask it questions about Real Broker itself and about policies that Real Broker has. So you can ask it, what is Real Broker's policy on house flipping or on E&O insurance? Or where can I find my ICA? You can ask it any of these questions and it's going to provide you links and resources and information answering these questions for you. And this is really amazing. Questions that it used to take me emailing somebody, waiting for them to respond back, I can literally just get an instant answer right there from Leo, our AI assistant. And we have big plans for this. Right now, we're actually incorporating it into our training academy. So you can ask it, hey, show me the best training for new agents, or show me the best training for listing presentations, and it's going to pull up the training from our training academy for you. We have other plans to incorporate it into our marketing center so that when you create a listing, it's automatically going to take the photos and create marketing material for you and be like, hey, we created this for you. Here's some suggested flyers and pamphlets that you can use for your next listing. And we have even cooler plans for the Leo AI assistant that's coming out this year and next year as well. But in terms of support, I think it's fantastic for support. This is now my number one resource when I have questions is I go to the Leo AI assistant. Now, of course, we also do have just a general support line that you can call anytime. The phone number is in your agent app and the email address is in your agent app. I'm emailing them quite often, just because I do a lot of agent attraction. People come to me with questions. I email or I call support, and they usually give me an answer that day or the next day. Now, when you join Real Broker, you're going to choose one or two sponsors, and I'd say that your sponsor is going to be another level of support. Hopefully your sponsor's been here for a while. They're knowledgeable about the company, knowledgeable about the industry. Now, we can't exclusively promise anything in exchange to be your sponsor. We can't say, I'll give you my free course, or I'll do weekly coaching calls with you, anything like that, but we are expected to provide support. You have questions, feel free to reach out to your sponsor, be like, hey, where do I find this? Who do I talk to about this? Can you help me with this? That is the role of a sponsor in the company. So your sponsor is going to be another level of support. And then we have WorkVivo. And I say WorkVivo is another level of support. So WorkVivo is a social media platform, but it's only agents at Real that are on this platform. And I think that this is a fantastic level of support. So if you have questions about YouTube or about listing presentations, or you have questions, big picture questions about your businesses, you can post them in these groups. But more importantly is that every state has a state-specific group. And so you can post questions in there as well. Or let's say you want to hold open houses for agents. This is a great place to connect with agents. And of course, on WorkVivo, you can direct message anybody in the company, including the CEO of the company if you like. And of course, at Real, you can name 2 agents as your sponsor. And so when I talk to new agents, what I actually like to do is find them a local agent that's Real in their exact market and ask that agent if they want to co-sponsor. And this way I can provide support for big picture, high level stuff about Real or about their business. And then we have somebody local that can provide support for questions like filling out the contract or questions about their local MLS. And so this is one of the advantages of having co-sponsorship is that you can get two different people that you can use as a resource and as support in your business. Another really important factor for any agent choosing a brokerage is going to be the technology that that brokerage provides to that agent. I think that Real Broker, hands down, has some of the best technology in the entire industry. Now, when it comes to brokerages and technology, there's two broad routes that a brokerage can take. One is what's known as bolt-on technology. So maybe a brokerage pays for a partnership with this company and this company and this company and this company, and then they try to get all these different pieces of software to work together, and you have different logins for all these accounts. That's known as bolt-on technology. That's typically what most brokerages are doing. The other option is that you can hire your own programmers and developers and build your technology from scratch. And that's what Real Broker's been doing for over 4 years now. In fact, we have over 100 programmers and developers and AI experts working for Real Broker right now, actively building out our technology even further. And because we build our own technology, we have so much flexibility and creative control, and Real's created such a seamless experience for Real agents. So everything is all just part of one platform here at Real Broker. You don't have to worry about logging into these different accounts, and everything works seamlessly together. And this is why Real Broker keeps winning all of these awards. It's our technology, like Inman Innovator of the Year, Inman Power Player of the Year, and a bunch of other awards. And one of my favorite pieces of tech that I use daily is actually just the Agent app. It is an amazing agent app. I think it's one of the best in the entire industry. You can run your entire business from this app, including sending contracts out to get signed by your clients, seeing all the data about your business, getting support from your broker or a support line, access to all of our training. And my favorite feature is that you can access every single transaction file that you have right there on your phone, and you can open it up, you can see the closing date, what the commission is going to be, and you can see the co-op agent's contact information and the title company's contact information. And this is huge for me because I used to have to track all of that information in like a spreadsheet, and then I have to pull the spreadsheet up on my phone, and just to have it automatically track that information for me in the app is huge. I could be driving around somewhere and I need to call the title company or the other agent, pull it up, and there's their information right there in the mobile app. And the truth is, most brokerages don't have any mobile apps like this for their agents. And the ones that do, they're pretty terrible. And it's because they're not building it from scratch. They're relying on some third-party company to build it for them. So I think technology is a very important factor to consider when choosing a brokerage, and Real Broker hands down has some of the best technology in the entire industry. Now, opportunities for growth in a company is something you should also factor in. Right now, you're a new agent, but 3 years from now, 5 years from now, 7 years from now, are you at a company that you can continue to grow with that company and add additional streams of income? Now, Real actually has several different streams of income that you can add to your business. As I mentioned before, every year our top producing agents can qualify for the Elite Agent Award and get up to $20,000 in free stock in the company. We also have a fantastic revenue share program. So if you want to help grow the company and attract other agents to the company, Real has, I think, the best one in the entire industry. We pay the most per agent out of any cloud brokerage. Any agent that you directly bring into the company who names you as a sponsor, you can potentially earn up to $4,000 a year from that agent. And then our revenue share goes down 5 tiers as well. Now, to be truthful and honest, most new agents are not great at agent attraction, right? And this really isn't even something you should focus on for your first few years. This is something maybe you could focus on after you're more established in the industry. But that opportunity for additional streams of income is available to you for agent attraction as you kind of grow. Another interesting opportunity is that Real actually has a mortgage company as well called Real Mortgage. And if you're licensed with Real Mortgage, you can be the loan officer and the agent on the same transaction. We are actually seeing this as a growing trend in our industry of being the agent and the loan officer on the same transaction. A lot of times people say it creates a better seamless experience for the clients. And for you as the agent, if you are the loan officer, you can earn 1.25% of the loan amount in addition to your buyer agent commission. And so a lot of agents find this as a great way to make even more money off the clients that they already have. Another stream of income is that Real also has a title company, Real Title, and we offer joint venture with that. So you can actually invest in your state's Real Title and have ownership in that title company, and they pay out profits once a quarter back to the owners of that company. And this is a way of incentivizing agents to recommend and use Real Title. But this can be an additional stream of income into your business down the road. And finally, we also offer a fantastic mentorship program. And right now, as a new agent, after you join, you may want to consider browsing the different mentors that we have and signing up with one. What I like about our mentorship program is that it's completely optional. And how it works is that your mentor will take a percentage of your next 3 transactions in order to be your mentor. And the percentage that your mentor charges depends on what you negotiate with them. It could range anywhere from 10% to 50%. And what I like about this is that you can actually use this to acquire different skills. So I know a lot about YouTube. I could offer like, hey, I'll be your mentor and teach you how to build a successful YouTube channel, really work with you hands-on, but I want 50% of your next 3 transactions. Or you could find somebody who's fantastic at cold calling, who's been doing it for 20 years. You can hire them as your mentor in exchange for a percentage of your transaction. Or maybe there's people that are a little bit more hands-off and they'll just say, hey, I'll help you write the contracts, negotiate the deals, and I only want 10% of your next 3 transactions. So there's a lot of flexibility with our mentorship program, and every single state we have a list of available mentors, what their skill sets are. You can reach out, interview them, find somebody who's a good fit for you. And I do recommend that you look into this as a new agent. And once you get more experience, once you're 5 years, 10 years into your career, you can then be a mentor, and this is going to act as another stream of income into your business. And as I mentioned before, one of the cool things about Real is that you can actually have 2 sponsors into the company. And I think this is really great for new agents in particular. And if you are interested in learning more about Real Broker and you're looking for a potential co-sponsor or sponsor into the company, if you're a newer agent, what I'd actually love you to do is schedule a video call with my partner, Kelly Norris. Kelly has been in the industry for over 30 years. He's owned his own brokerages in the past, and he's now here with Real Broker, and he actually loves working with brand new agents in this industry and helping them get their businesses started. I have a link down in the description below where you can schedule a video call with Kelly, and he can go into much more details about Real Broker, answer all your questions about this company, and if you like, he can actually connect you with a local agent with Real Broker to co-sponsor you into the company as well. And that way you can have Kelly as a resource to help you grow your business, and you also have a local sponsor for when you have questions about the local contract or your local MLS as well. And Kelly is in my network as well, so by putting him down as one of your sponsors, you do automatically get me in your upline as well, and I'd be happy to be a resource for you also. And I really do believe that this combination of having a really experienced agent and then a local agent as your 2 sponsors into the company is the best combination for a brand new agent into this industry. And once again, I have a link down in the description below where you can schedule that one-on-one call with my partner, Kelly Norris. And if you want to see a full breakdown of all the costs, fees, and benefits here at Real Broker, you can check out this video right here. Thanks so much for watching, and we look forward to hearing from you.